Okay, let's begin. Hello everyone, my name is Carl Roberts and I'll be your teacher for this class Intercultural Communication 311. To begin with, please look at the syllabus in front of you. You should all have one by now. I think this class meets on Thursday from 3:15 to 4:50. We will be meeting in this room for the first half of the course, but we will be using the research lab every other week on Thursday in room 45 during the last 2 months of the class. This is text for the class beyond language. Unfortunately, the books haven't come in yet, but I was told that you should be able to at bookstore the day after tomorrow, again as you see on your course outline. Grading is determined by your work on a midterm and final test, periodic quiz, a research project, and classroom participation. My office hours are from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. on Wednesday, and you can set up an appointment to meet with me at other time as well. Okay, let me explain a little bit about the class objective. Homelessness is a concern in almost every place you go around the world, but we often don't think much about it unless touch our life in a personal way. Unfortunately, as human beings, we often come up with awfully simplistic reason why people live on the street or in homeless shelter, and this perception often limit our abilities to have a real compassion others. Some reason can food loss of employment, a traumatic event such as a natural disaster that damages or destroys a family's home, and substance abuse, and the list goes on and on. I want to discuss as it applies to the United States where I live. So first of all, number one, in just the United States alone, over half a million people are homeless, with about third of those being children. Number two, about 1 in 5 people suffer from a mental health issue. Number three, about half of women who are homeless have been the victim of domestic abuse, and number four, around a quarter of the homeless are employed. But unfortunately, the cost of living for many people is just beyond their means and current income. Now I understand the people may feel uncomfortable and helping the homeless, but there are a number of things that people can do to alleviate the pain and suffering of those who are in desperate needs of help. For me, I just assume that people need help and I give it to them. I try not to assume that a person like has been self-inflicted every time. For example, one time, my wife and I were about to enter a restaurant when a homeless man approached us for money and trying to set aside on notice or present Sheffield feeling about his intention. My wife simply invited him to join us for dinner. As it turned out, it was a nice evening. The man shared with us his hope and dreams, and when our meal was over, we expressed well wishes to him and went home, not really knowing if he had home as well. To conclude, my intention in telling the story isn't to show how great we are for helping this man. Far from it. So many other people serve humbly and anonymously in far greater ways than we do, and I realize there have been times that I haven't been as compassionate as I could have been. Rather, I just want to say that people like you and me can make a difference. We do each day can make a difference in someone's life. Describe the condition of homeless in USA. There are so many homeless people in America. There are about more than half a million people, of whom there are children and women. And number two, what is the fact of the women who are homeless? The fact is that many homeless women in America are subjected to domestic violence. Number three, based on the audio, how that person has felt compassion for others. Instead of just giving money, they prefer to invite him to eat together and talk to him and listen to all his wishes and hopes, because there are many homeless people out there who can get friends even just to chat, because social inequality is so high. Number four, mention and explain the facts of homeless. A homeless person is someone who doesn't have a home. In other words, people who live on the street. Homeless people exist in almost all countries, and the factor that cause people to become homeless can also be poverty, very expensive living costs, problem with the authorities that make it difficult to find work, and now a few homeless people who have job but return to their country of origin. The high cost living makes them unable to do anything. Uh, can I borrow a few bucks until payday? I'm a little strapped for cash. Yeah, I guess. But I'm pinching pennies myself, and you still owe me $20 from last week. And mom and your friend Ron said that you borrow money from them this past week. And how are things going anyway? Well, not very well. To be honest, I'm really in hole, and I can seem to make ends meet this day. What do you mean? I thought you landed a great job recently, so you must be loaded. Well, I do have job, but I've used my credits card to pay off a lot of things recently. But now I can seem to pay money off. Do you have a budget? I mean, how do you keep track on your income and expense? Well, when my money runs out, I come to you, of course. No, but I guess I should have some financial plan. Well, let's see if I can help you. How much money do you spend on your apartment? I pay 890 on rent for the studio apartment downtown, not including amenities and cable TV. But the place has a awesome view of the city. Oh, why are you paying tooth the nose for such a small place, when you could find a cheaper one somewhere outside of the downtown area? Yeah, I guess. Okay, how much money do you spend on food a month? Oh, well, not really sure. I think I spend about 600. Well, I go out at least 4 times a week, so the expense add up. I just don't enjoy eating alone. I do have a knack for cooking like you do. Well, I can understand that, but perhaps you ought to buy some microwavable meals you could just prepare at home. Well, I guess I could. And entertainment? Well, I spend a few dollars here and there on basketball, movie ticket, concert, too, and ballroom dance lesson. Exactly how much do you spend on all of this? Just a few dollars? Well, about 400 or so. Or so? No wonder you're having money problem. You just can't blow your money on things like that. And what about transportation? Well, I commute to work every day in my new sport card, but I got a great deal and my monthly payment are only $450 a month. Come outside and take a look. We can go for a spin. No, I've heard enough. You've got to curb your spending on your and or you end up broke. I suggest you get rid of your credit card, cut back on your entertainment expense, and sell your car. Take public transportation from now on. Sell my car? I cannot without a car. What I'm going to say? Could you meet me downtown at bus stop at 7? Come on! And you need to create a budget for yourself and stick to it. And start with paying off your bills, starting with me. You owe me $50. $50? Wait, I only borrowed $20 from you last week. How did you come up with $50? Financial consulting fees. My advice is at least worth $30.